DC here. Hi guys and gals. I hope you're all well. Today is Thursday and it's not a lunch vlog break. It's 10 past 11 in the morning. I am on a week of vacation. Mrs. DC is actually out to the gym and I thought I'd take the time to make a little vlog. So I read an article this week. It kind of made me smile because there's so many things that come out lately, Vloggers Itch. There's so many things that come out lately, about, let's say, drinking, social drinking, especially in the coronavirus time where people are saying a lot of people are drinking more. And I would say that's actually true. I mean, I've been looking just at ourselves, but talking with our friends and everything. People in that coronavirus period did tend, to have a few more drinks. Well, at this time, every now and then every day I receive an article or a summary of articles, scientific articles in my mailbox. And this one here, actually, I think I might have even taken this one out of the New York Times. Actually, it was not out of my mailbox, but I did see it later on. This is the title: Moderate drinking may be good for the brain. Now, when I read that, I kind of laughed at first. I said, "Oh, is this being, funded by, a big whiskey company or beer company or an alcohol distillery?" Actually, no. It's the Journal of American Medical Association, the JAMA. And it's a recent article. I mean, it's June 29th, 2020. And what they've done what you call a meta-analysis of different studies of drinkers and cognitive activity. And it's actually quite interesting to see that they do come out for male and female. I won't try and define male and female here. That's not the deal. Moderate drinking may be good for the brain. Now, what they've done is they've checked different cognitive functions. So I'll just read here the conclusion, which is kind of interesting, and then we can chat about it a little bit. Our study suggested that low to moderate drinking was associated with better total cognitive function and better individual cognition domain results for word recall, mental status, and vocabulary among middle-aged or older men and women in the United States. So this is an American study. Low to moderate alcohol use was also associated with slower rates of cognitive decline in these domains. These associations were stronger for, oh goodness, I hadn't seen this bit. These associations were stronger for white participants than for black participants. Furthermore, weekly alcohol consumption had U-shaped relationship with the cognitive functions assessed, with the strongest associations with better cognitive functions at a dosage of 10 to 14 drinks per week for all participants. So that's male, female. And it is kind of amusing because depending on who makes the studies, it's like no drinks. And the New York Times, yes, I do remember, this was the New York Times. They finished the article, and this was kind of funny. They said, if you're not drinking now, there is no reason to start drinking to preserve cognitive function. There are many other ways to prevent cognitive decline: exercise, reading, and so on. I mean, it's kind of funny because, the title is Moderate Drinking May Be Good for the Brain, and then at the end they put a disclaimer. They add that. Now, where I was a little bit surprised is how do they define moderate drinking? They were talking about, up to 14 drinks, that's a week. So that's 2 drinks a day. Now, I know if you're binge drinking or even drinking, socially in an evening, you will be drinking probably more than 2 drinks. But that is like over the week. That doesn't mean you can have 14 in a day, I guess. That's not the way it was written. So what they considered as moderate drinking was people who drank regularly over the week. Now, I found that quite interesting because, of course, we all know that if you drink too much, all of a sudden you might have cognitive problems. You know, you might forget things. You might not remember, you know, spatial things, or all of a sudden you forget, like, maybe what you were talking about or stuff like that. It can happen. So, you know, what they're basically saying is that it is in the, I was going to say in the low stimulus mode. I mean, I won't go through the whole article, and I must admit, I didn't read all of it because, you know, it was pretty dry. But the scientific one. But what is nevertheless interesting is where alcohol works in your brain, and I think that is something that a lot of studies have shown. You know, that, you know, ethanol has different actions, of course, in the brain. You know, as far as the synapses are concerned, and so on. And mostly, I guess I would have thought it would have been negative. But of course, you know, when you're on an experimental details are in the lab, you're often giving more or higher doses than you would if you considered taking a drink and so on. Now, the whole idea here, though, which was quite amusing, was nevertheless is that it was the same for men or women. I can't say actually the question of when they said about blacks. It could be in that respect, and I won't get into the details because I don't know them, but we do know that there's a difference in metabolism often. You know, so sometimes it could be, well, take for example the question of diabetes and stuff like that. Different social groups or people have different effects, you know, on their metabolism, so that creates different issues. So we won't get into that, but so we'll just keep it as the study is. Are you surprised? I am actually a little bit, because I mean, I never actually thought of cognitive function in drinking. I would usually say, okay, drinking is something that, you know, will put you in a state where you can relax. You feel good. If you're relaxed, you might be more outgoing and so on. But that has nothing to do with cognition, actually. If anything, it's disinhibition. So, yeah, it's an interesting study. Tell me what you think about it. And, you know, we'll probably come back and chat more over the weekend. Just wanted to have my midweek vlog. It's been a good vacation up to now. Had the kids over. Even went into the kiddie pool with them. Had a lot of fun. Didn't film it though, because I was in the pool and nobody filmed it. But it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, a little bit of geocaching. So it's a good vacation. The Irish, I don't know if it's who coined the word, but they talk about the staycation, and you know, stay at home and so on. And that's what we did this week, and I liked it a lot. It was nice. So 8 minutes some odd. So DC will be signing off. Take care, everybody, and hope that you're all well. Bye-bye.